Welcome to today's explainer. Let's get right into it. We're going to completely dismantle a myth, a massive lie, really, that pretty much all of us have been sold since childhood. Right now, nearly half of all workers have a side hustle just to keep their heads above water. And guess what? They are exhausted. We've been taught forever that the path to financial security is just to put your head down and work as hard as you possibly can. But today, we're looking at the structural reality of how income actually works. And we're going to uncover why this standard, classic American dream logic might actually be the very thing holding you back.
Okay, so let's dive into this incredibly painful question that sits right at the core of our financial lives. It's literally the root cause of so much burnout today. I mean, you see people constantly hustling, right? Taking on extra shifts, grinding at second jobs, chugging that fourth cup of coffee just to drag themselves through the afternoon. And yet it feels like running on a treadmill that just keeps speeding up. Why is it that the more effort we pour into this hustle culture machine, the more trapped we feel? Well, the answer lies in the very mechanism of how we're taught to earn a living in the first place.
Section 1. The Paycheck Lie and Exchanging Hours for Dollars.
The entire paycheck system is built on one specific equation. It teaches us that the only way to make more money is to exchange more of our personal hours for dollars. It's a direct trade. You give an hour of your life, you get a predetermined amount of currency in return. Sounds totally fair on the surface, right? But the problem isn't the trade itself. The problem is the absolute mathematical limitation of what you are trading. You can absolutely try to game this system. You can work overtime, you can get a second job, or you can upskill and increase your hourly rate. You might even be the ultimate optimizer, meal prepping on Sundays, listening to audiobooks on 2x speed just to squeeze every drop of productivity out of the day. But no matter how much you optimize, there is a built-in limit here. You can try to outwork the system all you want, but as long as you have to personally show up and physically or mentally work for every single dollar you earn, you are driving your financial vehicle straight toward a brick wall.
Section 2. The Time Ceiling, which really is the ultimate trap.
You see, the issue here isn't necessarily about having a low income. I mean, there are plenty of highly respected professionals out there, doctors, lawyers, making fantastic money, who are still completely caught in this dynamic. The real problem is having your income permanently tied to your time. 24. That is all we get. No matter how smart you are, no matter how hard you hustle, no matter how badly you want to get ahead, we all eventually run out of our finite 24 hours in a day. You have to sleep at some point. You occasionally need to eat a vegetable, and yeah, unfortunately, you still have to sit in traffic during your commute. The inventory you're selling, your personal time, has a hard, non-negotiable, biological cap.
So the crucial takeaway here is that in this trap, requiring more money simply means bleeding away more of your precious time until you have absolutely none left. Just imagine this. You finally get that 10% raise you've been fighting for. You celebrate, it's great, but then inflation hits, or rent goes up, or lifestyle creep slowly sets in. Suddenly, the only lever you have left to pull is to work more hours, pick up weekend shifts. But more work requires more of your limited time, which means you're now sacrificing your health, your family dinners, your weekends, just to maintain the status quo. And guys, that is the literal definition of a trap.
Which brings us to Section 3, the escape plan, decoupling time from income. We aren't just here to talk about the problem today. If the trap is that your time and your income are locked together, the only logical way out is to break that chain entirely. We have to completely decouple your time from your income. To truly escape, you've got to shift your entire mindset from constantly selling your time to building something outside of yourself. Selling time means your income is strictly restricted by your available hours. That's the treadmill. But building systems, that means creating income-producing assets that generate revenue without your constant physical labor. So what does that actually look like for a normal person? Well, it could be writing an ebook that sells for years. It could be creating a highly specialized budgeting spreadsheet that you sell online. Or it could be as simple as diligently investing into dividend-paying index funds. Honestly, the specific form matters way less than the function. The ultimate objective of this shift is 24/7 revenue. Imagine the profound feeling of waking up on a Tuesday morning, reaching over to check your phone and seeing a notification that a system you built months ago made a sale at 3 a.m. while you were sound asleep. Or maybe while you were at your kid's soccer game or on a hiking trip. You are literally stepping out of the equation. You're creating digital products, investments, or automated streams that operate around the clock, totally independent of your daily effort. Your systems do the heavy lifting while you actually go live your life. Section 4. 3 practical applications. Let's talk about execution. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do this? Now that we understand why this shift is absolutely crucial, let's look at exactly how to put it into practice. The first practical application actually starts right in your head. You have to fundamentally change the primary question you ask yourself. Most people intuitively ask, how can I work more to make more? You need to stop asking that right now. Instead, start asking yourself this transformative question. How can I make this income without personally doing the work every time? When you ask this, your brain stops looking for extra shifts and starts looking for leverage. It shifts you from being an employee of your own life to being the architect. Secondly, you must actively choose to build systems instead of just working harder. Take a good look at what you do right now. Look for ways to turn your unique knowledge, your specific skills, or your daily processes into repeatable systems. Let's do a quick rapid-fire check here. Do you find yourself typing out the exact same email response to clients 10 times a week? Automate it. Are you teaching a new hire the same software over and over? Just record a training video once instead of doing it live every single time. Did you build an amazing workflow template for your own projects? Package it up and let others buy it. You want to create something that continues working long after you've stepped away from the desk. And this brings us to a really crucial definition, an asset. An asset is something built by your labor today that continues to produce value tomorrow, next week, and next year, rather than simply producing a single one-off paycheck. Think of it like this, right? Working for a standard paycheck is kind of like walking down to a river with 2 buckets and carrying water back to your house every single day. If you don't walk, you don't drink. Building an asset, on the other hand, is taking the time and energy to slowly construct a pipeline from that river to your house. Yes, it takes intense work up front, but eventually you just turn a spigot and the water flows without the walk. Your labor shouldn't just be an endless transaction. Every hour you work should ideally be laying a pipe for your future.
Section 5, measuring true freedom, moving beyond just making money. For our third application, we need to completely redefine what it means to actually be wealthy. We're moving beyond just looking at a salary. Society loves to celebrate a high income, but a high income isn't necessarily financial freedom if it demands every waking hour of your time, keeping you completely stressed out and highly vulnerable. Take a highly specialized top-tier surgeon, for example. They might make an incredible income, but if they fall and break their hand skiing, their income drops to zero overnight. That is immense vulnerability. True freedom is defined by how much income continues coming in without requiring additional hours from you. The less your income depends on your constant physical labor, the less vulnerable you become to the limits of time, the economy, or the whims of an employer.
To summarize this explainer, let's let these core truths really sink in. First, your hours are undeniably finite. Biology dictates this. Second, because of that limit, if your income relies entirely on your personal labor, you will inevitably hit a wall. It's a mathematical certainty, not a reflection of your work ethic. Therefore, the absolute only sustainable path forward is shifting your focus and energy toward building income streams and true assets. By intentionally doing this, you systematically free yourself from the claustrophobic limits of your personal time. So as you look at your own career and your own financial strategy moving forward, I really want you to ask yourself this final, somewhat uncomfortable question. If you stop working today, does your income stop too? Just let that sink in for a second. But hey, don't let it discourage you. Recognizing the paycheck lie is the absolutely critical first step. Today is day 1 of building your escape plan. Let your answer to this question guide what you actively choose to build tomorrow. Thanks for diving into this explainer with us, and we'll catch you on the next one.